Good evening from AldermanFarms. Tommy had to turn the mic on. Um, we're getting so excited. I can't, every time I go to say that word, I think about the person that told me, y'all homesteaders say that a lot. But I am excited, so I guess I need to think of another word to say sometimes besides excited. But anyway, um, yesterday, wasn't it yesterday? Tommy and I planted three little apple trees out here. I'm not sure if they're going to make it
Three
because
dead apple trees.
they're not all the way dead. They're just almost dead.
Mostly
Mostly
dead.
dead. Anyway, there you probably can't see them. We'll walk a little closer in a minute and show them to you. But anyway, I was going to tell you about my plans that I have. I've been thinking about it ever since we went to, was it Mount Vernon? That's George Washington's place.
Yeah.
Anyway, the way they did their beds, they had beds, raised bed gardens and everything. And the way they did them was that they were really like a rectangle, but all the paths led into. Are you having issues?
Yeah, people are saying not much sound.
Oh, there
It's,
better be sound. He bought a new
it's a
microphone.
brand new microphone I'm experimenting with.
Can
Talk,
you hear
Patty.
me? Can you hear me now? But anyway, when I come out on the back porch here, I'd see this area right here. If you can point the camera over there, Tommy. This area right here, I don't know if you can tell, it's kind of raised right here. And there was a stump over there, a tree that died. And I've been throwing my coffee grounds out here. We put some fireplace ashes here, just trying to build the soil up a little bit. And of course, it's growing some grass now. But anyway, I'm going to take the tiller and I'm going to kind of till around here. And I'm going to try and to kind of mimic the beds that they have at Mount Vernon. I'm going to have I was going to put a bird bath in the middle. They had a cistern in the middle of theirs, and that way where they could just go to the cistern, get water, and it was convenient to water each bed. I'm not going to have a cistern in mine. I have a water hose, so they didn't have that back then. But anyway, so I'm going to make a little bed similar to that, but I've kind of changed my mind in my head. If I can get my sugarcane to grow, I should have planted it before now, but I'm going to plant my sugarcane in the middle and have stuff around the outside, but it's going to be more vegetable based than flower based. But some pretty plants that I plan on putting around in here. But unbeknownst to Tommy, he said he'd rather not have to mow the grass in the backyard. So my plan is I'm going to take, if you walk over here, so this is going to be a big round bed here. Um, and here, I'm going to walk over here. This is an apple tree here, and there's one there, and there's one there. And so I just came up with the idea in my head. I'm going to take my tiller and I'm going to lightly till it just to get the grass up. And we're going to go get, and I'm going to make it long all the way encasing the apple trees. And I'm going to have beds, the whole thing is going to be L-shaped. We'll have a bed there. And then eventually I want to get mulch and put through here so there won't be grass in this area. It'll just be a flower, not a flower garden, but a tree and vegetable garden. But anyway, I'm planning on planting some plants around in here and maybe some herbs and stuff. But what I'm most excited about today is I had a great find. I got free plants today, which I've got the greenhouse going and everything, but I have plants that are already up and growing, but let me show them to you. I was just really, really pleased. I bought one plant today because I was planning on buying some rosemary seeds, and rosemary you can propagate pretty easily. From what I remember reading, you can actually take pieces of the rosemary and put in the soil and plant them. And this is my rosemary that I got today. And this was $3.50, y'all. I was surprised at how much plants have gone up because I haven't bought plants in 3 years. So, because I've been very successful in the greenhouse, finally. I've not been successful in years past trying to start my own plants. But anyway, this is my rosemary that I bought. But this is my free plant. Now, if you look at this basil here, it doesn't look great. It's kind of heavy. I just watered it. Um, this is my basil, and some of these I believe will live. I'm gonna pinch the leaves off and stuff, but this corner one looks pretty good. But I have this tray and all these little pots that'll last a few more years that I can reuse. Um, this is kale. I got two little things of it, and it looks pretty rough. And this one, I don't know that will make it.
Hang on. Tell them I'm experimenting with settings on the new microphone. So, and somebody's telling me that there's like a jackhammer sound. Tut, 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 tut. And
Huh.
it may be because I'm feeding it directly into.
Can y'all hear Tommy? I don't know if y'all can hear what his explanation, but he's experimenting with them pretty good. But it's free, so even if they don't make it, which I think they will, these look pretty good. I have kale that's already up, and I haven't even planted my kale yet. And here's some more kale. And Toby says he likes the kale. Can you point the camera down here or no?
Yeah.
Move, Tabby, go on. This is spinach right there. That
I
picked
forgot
up.
to change the Wi-Fi. It's buffering. Go ahead.
Can you change it now?
No, not without stopping.
Anyway, this is some kind of flowers. What kind? Let me see. Oh, pansies. This is some pansies that I got. The whole flat. And they're starting to bloom already, so I'm excited about that. I don't normally do flowers, a lot of flowers and everything, so that'll be good if I get these. These, I'm not sure what these are, but I'm thinking they're broccoli or cauliflower or maybe cabbage. I'm just not sure. I'm not that familiar with those plants. This is some peppers that I got. Do you need to be back over there closer to the Wi-Fi? Will that help? Because I can
Probably.
carry the plants over there.
And see, the thing is, I don't see any problem with it. You know, I haven't gotten any notice that the signal's bad or anything.
Oh, okay. And then here in this tray,
She's forgotten about that white picket fence. She'll explain in a minute.
Huh?
Just keep going.
Anyway, this is early girl, and it may not be early girl, but I'm thinking that's going to be the right plant that's in here. But so I'm gonna get these planted out. I'm gonna separate these. There's two in here, and if you're very gentle with the roots, you can take them apart. So. And this, I believe, is some cayenne. Yeah. And they look pretty bad, but, I'm going to try keeping them watered and everything and see how they do. This in here is banana peppers. So, anyway.
Is that it?
Nope, I have a few more. This is some garlic chives here, and they look pretty good. They'll make it. This is a husky red cherry, which I really didn't need any more cherry tomatoes, but I got it. This is, that's two. Heck, we don't eat that many cherry tomatoes, but anyway, we have two. Here's another tomato plant. I thought this was, they don't have what it is. I don't know what kind of tomato plant it is. Oh, here's this one. This is a Better Boy tomato plant. It looks bad. And this here is cilantro. So I have 3 plants of cilantro, or 4 really. I really don't need that much cilantro, but I'll probably dry some to store and everything. So I think that's all of the plants that I got. So.
All right, so you
And
got.
now, let me tell you how I got them.
Yeah,
for
you got to
free.
tell them how you got them for free.
So that is going by, and y'all, they were selling these 6-packs. These 6-packs were $3.50 a piece. That's how much they cost. Of course, they were full. That's the full ones. But the person that, the plant person that comes by to the feed store, he goes through the plants and everything, and if they don't look good, he gives them the store credit for them, and they put them over in a pile to get rid of. And they let their customers go through them and pick out what they want. And the guy inside, Trey, told me, he said, leave some for somebody else too. Don't just take them all and everything, which there was still a lot more plants. But the little guys that load the feed in the car told me, said, Miss Patty, just take all you want because we're throwing them away after today. So I was able to get a lot. There still is a lot more, but I don't even have garden space ready yet for my plants. So anyway, so I got these, and so I'm satisfied with what I have. It'll give me some early stuff, a few early things, and while I'm waiting on my seeds to grow, where I can get my plants out. So that's one thing about doing business with uh, local people. They know me. They're glad for me to get a good deal, and everything. So it was just really, really neat that I got to get those. So I'm just ready to get them planted.
They take good care of us.
Yep.
All right, so I guess we'll see if we got some comments. Patty hates this part because she says, I'm just standing there. So dance or something. Danny69 says, Patty, I loved your shirt.
Oh, thank you. I like it too.
1870s Homestead is so ready to plant.
Oh, I bet. They're up north,
Yeah.
so.
One day at a time says, must be chilly up there.
It is. My hands are cold, really cold after touching these wet plants.
It's not cold really, but.
Yeah, it's not cold.
No, it's, in fact, it says it's 68. There's no way it's 68 right now.
Feels cooler to me.
Feels cooler than that. But it's just been kind of nippy today.
Mm-hmm.
So, hey, gaming guy to the max 1234 says, nice channel you got. Well, thanks. Appreciate that. Thanks for stopping by. Freaky Geek said flowers brighten the garden up and confuse pests. So that's good.
Yeah. Well, and I don't know about planting pansies in the garden. I've never read anything about that. But, I like flowers and everything, but I think it's because they don't give me any vegetables in return. I've just never been one that took real good care of flowers. So, in fact, Mama's got 2 plants that she's been given, and I've just about let them die. They get to drooping all down, and I finally water them and everything. So,
sorry for the sound problems, guys. We didn't. This is the exact kind of microphone that Tara and Mike use at Living on a Dime, which is why I got one. But I didn't test it or anything. I just plugged it in and said, "Let's go." And so there's a couple of settings on it, and sorry about that. Yeah, Freaky Geek said that's talking about that jackhammer sound. That's the sound of the film flapping.
oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Blah, 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 blah. So anyway,
What about a white picket fence?
that's a YouTube viewer. Asked how did she get them?
Oh,
Free,
okay. I
the
thought there
title
was something.
How to get these plants for free.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
yeah.
So, I mean, that just, I mean, this time of year, for down here in the South, our stores are getting their vegetable plants in. And I actually saw them over there day before yesterday when I went by there, and they were off to the side, and I didn't ask then. And so they were still there today, so I asked, and that's how I knew. So, but I want to show them one thing. I finally have I shouldn't say finally. Already, I have something up in the greenhouse. So, I'm glad about that. And I've actually planted more since we did the last video. I've got my Japanese long cucumbers planted, and okra. This is okra here, and this is okra here, and my moringa seeds. This is moringa here. Moringa.
Whatever.
Anyway, but look, right here, you can see there is a cucumber wanting to stand up right there.
And I'm gonna bring the camera down low so I can't zoom in. I see it.
You can zoom in. You just go like that with your fingers.
Oh, you can? Even when you're live?
I think so. Well, when I was doing a video recording, you could. Anyway, so that's my first thing that's up, which cucumbers do come up kind of fast. I haven't watered. You can see, can you see right here? You can see how this is a little bit lighter than this because it's drying out some. It needs to be watered. But I have been told it's best not to water at night, especially when you're down south where it's really humid, or I guess it gets humid other places too. But because it encourages a fungus to grow. So I'm not going to water them because most of them look pretty good still. So I'll water them first thing in the morning because we're going to have another warm day tomorrow.
No, Deep South Texas, the moringa is not on a heat pad.
No, I've thought about that. I do have one, and I probably should do that. Of course, it was quite warm in here today. Our lows are I think it's gonna be 44 tonight, and it'll be a little bit warmer in here. So I
If our
know,
weather would make its mind up, we would know whether or not we needed to do that.
yeah, but I may go ahead and get it on a heat mat and to make them go ahead and come up. And these, I'm gonna grow this moringa in the pot for where I can bring it in and overwinter it.
Wheat
So
Tree
this one,
says watering trees at night is like going to bed in wet socks. I'm
yeah,
not,
yeah, yeah. So it's, as they say, it's just really not good to do that. So, but anyway, I'm going to go out here and I'm going to go ahead and get these pots that I have over here to the side. Oh, and there was some lettuce over there. I don't think I showed him the lettuce.
oh,
So.
something else. Patty got
Oh
me
yeah, that's
something.
got Tommy a surprise
She
today.
brought me a surprise that we just found out about this, and she couldn't resist picking me up some of it. It's a formula put together by the Louisiana Department of Agriculture. Showscape Tiger Grow. Professional potty mix. Grow like a pro. How about that? And it's got the LSU Ag Center logo on it. So that was just for me. She won't be buying any more of that because it was $7.
Yeah, that was too much to pay.
All right. Anything else, dear?
Well, I was just going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and repot some of this stuff. Well, not really repot it, but well, kind
Thanks,
of.
Jen.
Jen from the
No.
Nut House.
Jen James said, great job on the greenhouse. Well, Patty recovered it just about by herself. Ain't much she can't do.
I'm gonna be doing an apartment garden up on our balcony up there, and so I'm gonna go ahead and start getting set some of these to do that with.
Thanks,
So
Terry. It's pretty simple and functional.
here's this is cilantro I'm gonna put in here, and I'm gonna go ahead and put this basil in here. Let me see. I may just put it in the middle right here.
The greenhouse is it's 2 cattle panels. They're lapped over just a little bit, and it's the on the floor is approximately 8 feet square.
All right, is that the only herbs I have? Is these two?
Out here,
Yeah.
what is this over here?
Oh, that's my rosemary. But I'm gonna put it in a bigger pot, and I'm gonna clip that off and put that in there.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go ahead and do.
Gaming Guide to the Max 1234 says, what can that herb be used for? Which one, Gaming Guy?
Cilantro I use for a dish that I make. It's a Colombian dish, and you can use it for that. So cilantro has a very distinct taste. It tastes good in chicken, and then the basil I use that in my spaghetti gravy and stuff like that. And I also use it in my basil bread that I do. So there is that one
Oh,
done.
wow. Terry Trotto is turning the base from a single wide mobile home into a greenhouse.
Wow.
Hard work, but it'll be worth it. You're right, Terry. It will
That'll be
worth
nice. Nice, nice, nice. All right, I think I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of spinach in here too. Now this is our apartment garden that I'm working on right now.
it. Yeah, you know,
So,
I'll try to remember to put a card in here. Patty did a talk at the Deep South Homestead Spring Gathering about growing growing a lot on a little, where not everybody has a lot of land or any land that they can grow food. But you know what? You don't have to have a lot of land. If you live in an apartment, you can grow food on your balcony. And so Patty said, you know what? I need to show people how to do that. So she's going to start working on a balcony garden.
and I hope mine will work. We don't get a lot of sunshine up there. We get some, but not a lot. So we'll see. It's an experiment. I think I'm going to put one of these cherry tomatoes in a bucket to put up there. And so,
See what happens. Yeah.
yeah, just see what happens.
Yeah, it's best if you have a balcony that gets a lot of sun. Gaming guy, I've never heard of rosemary lemonade.
Oh, I haven't either.
He was asking you if we were going to make some of that.
Oh, with the rosemary, there's a an Italian bread that I want to use for the with the rosemary.
Those of you, I think I've seen several new names in here, and so Patty's. Well, I started to say Patty's specialty. She has a lot of specialties, but one of them is baking sourdough bread, and so that's what she's talking about, an Italian variation. So we enjoyed it too, Mountain Mama.
There we go.
Yes,
So-
Terry. Terry's got a Facebook page where we can see pictures of that greenhouse. You can't post a link, Terry, but you can put the name of it.
Oh
and,
yeah, I would love to see that.
Yeah, because we'd love to see it. Just put the name of it in the chat. You're not going to be able to link it, and but people can search that name.
Okay. So that's nice. And see this lettuce. I thought I would do the lettuce in a box too, but it's kind of big already.
Yeah,
and
it is
laying
kinda
down.
big.
So I don't know. Can't really tell, but it would do some good. It won't hurt us, that's for sure. Probably putting it in there. So let me get another one.
Another what?
Little box.
Another box? We like to keep our peat moss warm before we use it. So it's got this, we like to buy them with the built-in cat heater. Hey, Mama Cat. That's Mama Cat. Mama Cat. Mama Cat.
Ooh, this is
That's what we call her, Mama Cat. And she's got one of her babies running around here that's several months old, looks just like her. And Corey named her Baby Mama Cat. So we got Mama Cat and Baby Mama Cat. They're Manx. They're both of them are Manx, so they have bobtails, and she throws a bunch of bobtail kittens. Yeah, that's right, Laura. Cats will warm up just about anything.
She's out helping in the garden.
She's helping in the garden. She's a gardening cat. I'm afraid the dogs are going to have a play date here in a minute and come ripping through here, and
They better not.
it just looks so pretty. Patty, you just got magic in your fingers.
This is Butter Crunch Bib lettuce. I've never grown this kind of lettuce. The little guy told me it's kind of like romaine. I'm gonna separate this. I hope I don't mess it up.
Mountain Mama, it's in the 60s today. We had a little cool snap. You know, we went through some days the other day where it was in the upper 70s, Patty, and
Yeah, and it's fixing to be getting back to the 70s.
kind of warm at night. But we had a few nights where it was in the 30s again, and cooler during the day.
I'm gonna pinch that off, and we'll see what this does. If this was just plain old leaf lettuce, I know it would bush back out, but I don't know that it will or it will.
Patty's really good at growing
So,
lettuce.
let's see.
We've grown several varieties of lettuce and
Leaf lettuce, though.
leaf lettuces, and got a pretty good market here in Brookhaven for it. Oh my goodness, it could be worse.
What?
Laura from up in New York, I think she said. Yeah, on Long Island, they were hit with 10 inches of snow.
I saw that. Toby, I think, is the name of that storm. They're naming those storms.
Oh, it's got a name?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
But
We do, Gaming Guy to the Max. We've got actually several. We've got a lot of land here. And so Patty is doing these small container stuff just as a teaching exercise. So keep an eye on our channel there. In fact, we'll do a playlist eventually on growing a lot on a little. But we do have, how many box beds do we have?
I think we have 8. Mm-hmm.
We've got 8 4 foot by 8 foot or 4 foot by 12 foot box, raised beds. And then we've also got several rows in a garden that are, I think so. Can y'all hear me? I'm behind the directional mic, but I'm trying to speak up. We've got several rows in the traditional garden area that are 50 feet long or something like that. So yeah, we have a combination of raised beds and containers now and traditional gardening. Okay, good. Thank you, Wee Tree. They can hear me. Yeah, Danny69 said Mother Nature is off her meds. It's weird, I'll tell you. It's weird. Thanks, Terry.
Yeah, I want to tell them. And here, I've got this bucket, and you see the big holes that it has in it.
Hold it up. Okay.
And so I'm just putting a little pine straw and leaves in it. It'll still allow it to drain, but it's going to hold my soil in there. I didn't want my soil just to start falling through the holes. So.
All right, we're going with the grow soil, the Tiger Grow. Woohoo!
I'm gonna try it and see.
Well, we should use some of that to sprout some purple hull beans.
It's warm in the bag too. Looks nice.
You can zoom it when you're live. I'm zoomed up on the mouth of that. Yeah, only $9.95. $7.
$7.
But still. Oh, Mountain Mama says she loves your ranch dressing.
Oh, great.
Got to make some more. We have
Oh, Mountain Mama, I've been experimenting with it too, because different people have told me that they've been doing different stuff with it. And the ranch dressing, now I did it in my Instant Pot, but you take a half a cup of water. You could do it in a skillet. Half a cup of water in the Instant Pot. In skillet, don't put water. I think I just lined I put my little rack in there and lined it with chicken tenders and put about a half a block of cream cheese and like 2 tablespoons of ranch dressing, dry mix over it. Oh my goodness, it was amazing. And tonight I did a chicken breast. I cut it up to do like fajita meat, and I put my fajita seasoning on it. Fiesta to make fajitas, and it was really good too. So we had a quick supper tonight. So
we're out of the ranch, guys. You can buy this. You can buy your very own on our store.
But I've got an order to fill, so I'm making it tomorrow.
Yeah, at AldermanFarms.net and click store, and you can actually order some for yourself. And if you want to go ahead and order some of the ranch, even though we're out, Patty's making a batch tomorrow because we have an order to fill right now. And you can also get the other mixes there. And then one more thing, Terry was asking for your sourdough starter recipe.
Oh, okay.
Terry, you can get that for free if you go to AldermanFarms.net and click on Digital Store, because we're not smart enough to put everything in the same store. If you go to Digital Store, there's a link for the instructions on how to rehydrate Patty's dehydrated starter, and there's also a page in there that has her sourdough starter recipe.
Yeah, just to start it from scratch if you don't want to get the starter. Now I don't know what I was going to say.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I was already talking.
I know.
I got a bad habit of interrupting her.
But I didn't interrupt you. That was good. Oh, that's what I was going to do. Look at this. It's already blooming, y'all. It's already blooming. I just have to say, Tommy Nettles, eat your heart out.
Yeah.
My neighbor, Tommy Nettles, he always teased me because he'd go buy plants. He don't usually buy cherry tomatoes, but he'd go buy regular tomato plants that are this tall with a stake in them that already have blooms. And he always beats me having tomatoes. So that's why I say, eat your heart out, Tommy Nettles. I'm going to have tomatoes before him. But I'm growing his tomato plants this year, and I was late, so he's not going to beat me this year.
Hey, Patrick with All Day I Eat Like a Shark is back with us.
Hey, Patrick.
Patrick wins the prize for the most creative channel name. And if you guys are interested in Japanese cuisine, then you need to go over to the YouTube channel, All Day I Eat Like a Shark. And Patrick will teach you how to cook Japanese food, and he'll do it live. He's been doing a lot of live lately.
Has he?
And
I've gotten notified, but I hadn't got to watch any yet. I want to tell him this right quick.
Right.
I think I can plant this whole thing, but I'm not. With tomato plants, you want to put it all the way down, deep down in there until it comes up to these leaves there to the top. It's just sticking out. and it makes for a much stronger. All those little things, the little leaves that I pinched off and everything, all that is gonna make roots, and it'll be very, very strong.
Patrick, did that
So
answer your question? Because Patrick was asking how deep are you going to plant that tomato?
yeah, so
Yep, he said that's how he plants them as well. Solid
yes.
advice. Because Patrick's
Oh,
also a gardener.
let me give y'all this tip. Y'all have heard me talk about Craig Smith from Smith Vegetable Farm. He is one of our farmers that come to the market. He's a younger guy. He's in his 30s. And I say younger because a lot of times your farmers are older than us. But anyway, last fall, he, well, it wasn't in the fall, but once his spring tomatoes, summer tomatoes were done, he left them on there, and I believe they were indeterminate tomatoes. He took them and he laid them down and he covered them with mulch until just the tops were sticking out. They grew up, and that was his fall tomato crop.
Wait now, explain that again. Start over and explain what he did.
All right, you have your tomato plant. Say, pretend this is your tomato plant, okay? And it's quit producing, okay? He laid it down.
Okay, he didn't uproot them. He laid them
No,
down.
he
I
didn't
got
uproot
it.
it. He laid it down because, he untied it and all. He laid it down, and this is the very top.
Yeah.
He covered all of this with mulch, and when you do that, it's going to grow roots out of all this. So it's going to have
Ah.
a very strong root system. And then this grew up, and he staked it again, and he had a second crop of tomatoes off of those tomatoes.
Wow.
Now, not all of them made it through, because we've had such hot summers and everything, but he did not have to buy tomato plants for the fall.
That's crazy.
They was already in the ground.
So Patrick, are you aware of that? He said yeah, he must be. Patrick was saying that's the best thing about indeterminates. He said you can also just break off the branches and root them too.
He did that too. He did that with his in the summer. But I think he did really, really good. He said that they produced as good in the fall as they did in the summer.
Wow.
So let's see. This is indeterminate here. This red husk cherry. No, husky red cherry.
Interesting.
This is not a heirloom. This is just, and I don't think any of this stuff is heirloom. But there's nothing wrong if you're growing something that's not heirloom. You're just not going to be able to save true seeds off of it. And that's one reason I'm learning to save seeds and everything. So I want heirlooms that's open pollinated that I can save seeds from.
So Terry asked a good question that people may be asking if they're unfamiliar with tomato plants. Her question is, do indeterminates grow better than determinates?
Okay.
It's really not better, just differently.
Yes, they're different. Determinate tomatoes, we went over this today. I always have to think about it. There's a determined height on a determinate tomato. It's only supposed to get so tall. Now, if you over fertilize it, it will get really tall. It can get really tall. Indeterminate is that it's you don't know how tall it's going to
As
get.
long as the conditions are good, it'll
Yeah.
continue to grow.
Yeah, and I mean, it can grow and grow and grow. Like the greenhouse tomatoes that we're saying today are indeterminate, and they'll harvest tomatoes off of one tomato plant for 9 months, but it'll be long, and they keep breaking off the leaves and letting the top grow and stuff like that. So that's the difference. And your determinate tomato is going to be earlier, typically, than your indeterminate. They take a little longer to produce. Not a ton longer, but some longer.
Now, Laurie's saying usually determinate tomatoes only have one harvest.
Right. They're gonna produce and be done. Indeterminate is gonna keep growing and keep producing tomatoes.
Yeah. So your options are, plant a crop of determinate and then plant a new crop of determinate if you're not equipped with being able to manage the continued growth of an indeterminate.
And see, we're going to try cattle panels this year. That's my plan this far. And I've bought those little plastic clips that I'm going to actually clip the tomato vines to, or the whatever, I guess vines, to. And so a lot of my varieties are indeterminate. I find a lot of the heirlooms are indeterminate, but I believe I have some determinate tomatoes. So I need to make sure I separate those. I'll have to relook at the different seeds that I've planted to make sure.
Red Duchess jumped in with all capital letters and said absolutely right. So Patty nailed it.
What, with the determinate and indeterminate?
Yeah.
I've got to think about it each time, but that's how I remember. Determinate, it's determined height, and indeterminate, you just don't know.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, to show again what we've done. Red Duchess, if you're just joining us, I got free plants today. Yay!
Patty
And
went to the feed store and they were getting ready to throw out the kind of poor looking plants, and so Patty scored them.
yeah. So I'm excited about it though because I have stuff growing, and I'm gonna get some of this stuff over in the boxes either tomorrow or Saturday. I'm gonna go. I've got some of the boxes. I don't on my Facebook page. Our Facebook page, I put pictures of before the goats and after the goats. So they've really eaten down the chickweed really good. It should be really easy to get it out of there. And so I'm gonna work on that. I have some manure already there that I can get and put in there. And what I've been trying to do since I'm planting mostly plants and not seeds, I'm only fertilizing my hole that I dig to put my plant in instead of just broadcasting it everywhere. And I'm using my barnyard manure, so it can grow seeds too. So it's best that it's not up on top. So I'm not having as much grass problem.
Yeah.
So.
Get to the farm says I grow by season length, not plant height. In the greenhouse, I have to top the indeterminate plants at head tall so they don't touch the plastic.
Wow.
And Red Duchess Farm said free plants are always a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And look how good these look, y'all. I'm just really surprised at how good these look. This is pansies again. And so I got to make a flower bed now. There's some flowers in the ground. I'm hoping there's some purple ones in there.
Yeah, me too. Go Tigers.
Well, I was telling the little guy, I said, oh, too bad there's not any purple blooming. I said, Tommy'd be thrilled for an LSU bed. And he said, I already got the purple ones. He said, that's the little guy.
Oh, yeah.
The lighter sandy hair.
Terry Trotto said the bees will love us.
Oh, good. I didn't think about that. So, anyway.
All right, so.
This is my, I think I'm going to put some of those peppers in here, too.
Again, sorry for the sound difficulties early on. I think I see what I need to do. I've got it. First, you need to turn the mic on. That always helps.
That helps.
That always helps. And then I've got it set to like a plus 20 because you guys were telling me you couldn't hear good until I hit that plus 20 setting. It's a Rode video mic, so.
Now, who else was talking to us? I know Mark is on here, but somebody else. Oh, the shark.
All day I eat like a
Yeah,
shark.
because you said heat gardens too. Now, I put that tomato in one of these buckets. Do y'all think that's big enough to keep a tomato in? And what about for a pepper? Because I was going to put a pepper plant in one of these too.
I know people grow tomatoes in 5-gallon buckets, so.
Well, I know, but this is a 3-gallon bucket.
Mark at Red Duchess, Patrick at All Day I Eat Like a Shark. What do you think? Mount Mama says it is. Now, Patrick wants to know, are you going to transplant? You talking about...
Not the ones that I'm doing now. I was not planning to.
No, that's what she's asking. He said bigger is better, so... Well, yeah, Laura, you do, but there's no bottom in the square foot garden. So I think that the bottom is more of the question here. Wanda Duckworth said the bigger the pot, the bigger the plant.
Yeah.
And Patrick says, well, I guess it depends on the tomato.
Yeah, I was thinking that would be a determinate tomato, and it's such a little short, squatty tomato. I thought it wouldn't be big, but I think it's going to be. It said it's an indeterminate, so.
Yeah, and Mark said 5-gallon. He'd go with a 5-gallon bucket.
Well.
So anyway, keep in mind this is not our tomato harvest. You know, we're just playing around, not really playing around, but
yeah, we're playing around. We're experimenting. Yeah, there you go.
I mean, we'll have how many tomato plants in the garden?
You really want to know?
Yeah, how many?
Well, I don't know.
Too many to count?
No,
50, 60, 70, 120?
About
120. We'll have about 120 tomato plants in the garden proper, so don't fret. Yeah, so.
Oh, I don't want tomato. I want this.
Yeah, we'll have to. We'll be doing live feeds from the other gardens soon. I would walk you over there right now, but we will lose connection, I'm sure.
Okay.
Mark plants 100 tomatoes. We got you outnumbered, Mark.
Well, I don't know how many is in there. I honestly don't, because then I had all my tomatoes figured that I was going to plant. Oh wait. Yeah. Wait. I think so. I'm talking to myself, not out loud though. I think peppers you can bury all the way up to their leaves too. Ask that. Is that right, Mark and Patrick? I believe that's the case, that with peppers you can bury them all the way up just like a tomato plant. I think it was peppers. We had a farmer's market meeting today and we talked about it. Any answers?
Not yet. Patrick said he hasn't heard that for peppers, so he doesn't know.
We're going to try it.
We're gonna try it
Unless-
because we experimenting. Because how many pepper plants we're gonna have in the real garden? 100?
No,
50?
not quite. Let me go count my tomato plants. Now, doggone it, you done got me curious. I know I have over 100 okra plants.
Heads up there, wee tree. So yeah, Patrick, we're blessed, man. We have a lot of space. We live on 116 acres actually. That's never good catch, wee tree. Of land that's never been bought, family property, and most of it's in timber. The vast majority of it. I think we figured about 8 acres. Yes, wee tree, thank you. I think we have about 8 acres under curtilage. That's between like pasture and.
Well, it's not that bad.
Around the house and whatnot. So, but we still have, yeah, Terry, we're not lucky. We're blessed. But I know what you mean. We really are. And so we've got, how big is our main garden, Patty? Did we figure about 60 by 100?
Mm-hmm.
About 60 feet by 100 feet or so. We've actually got room for another one that's
Ours
about.
my rows 25 feet long.
No, they're not.
They're 50 feet long.
50 feet, 40 or 50 feet long.
Okay.
We've actually got another big garden area fenced in that's just too
We don't
much
use
for us
it.
to handle right now, and it is more like 100 by 150 or 160, 200.
I don't know. It's big, but we can't do that anymore. It's pigs and chickens right now. I've got 108 tomato seeds planted, not counting Tommy Nettles. He's got 36. So.
Yeah, and how many peppers?
Oh, I didn't count them.
Count your peppers.
1, 2.
Count your peppers. Count them one by one.
Okay, same amount of pepper. Oh, that's a lot of peppers.
So we do have 100 peppers, 100 pepper plants, and 100 tomato plants.
Well, when you just plant 12 of one pepper or 6 of one pepper, but you plant so many peppers,
Mama, we use the chickens. We have used the pigs before. The guinea hogs don't do quite as well because they're just not as voracious of rooters.
For what?
And
in the garden?
preparing the garden.
Yeah.
Plowing the garden.
They do good though. I mean, they do good.
But we're moving toward more of a no-till eventually, more permanent beds or a light till. Mm-hmm. And this year it'll only be a light till.
Huh.
So.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see how light.
Because we didn't cover them and we've got grass, so.
We're gonna plant a small amount of corn. Again, frankly, for more ornamental and experimental in the backyard garden here. Patty's going to have a small bed of corn just because it'll be interesting to see, not necessarily for harvest. We found Mr. Cloyce, who is one of our farmers market farmers. We can get it from him almost cheaper, well, certainly cheaper time-wise than we can plant it and harvest it.
Well, and the thing is if we had time to devote to it,
if we
would
farming
grow
full time.
Yeah, I mean, we would definitely grow our own corn, and I have seed. I can grow my own corn, and I actually have grown it and saved seed from it. Some of it was, we like sweet corn. But anyway, but I would be interested. I've got some Danny corn that I'm going to be planting this year, just to try it and hopefully get some more seeds from it. And I don't think that's a sweet corn. I think that's more of like a field corn.
It is.
And but you can use that to make your cornmeal and stuff like that. So I plan on doing that. What?
Thanks, good-looking honky.
That's his name.
That's a channel name. He said. He's the one that asked about the corn. He said, "Sounds good. Good luck." So I had to say, "Thanks, good-looking honky." And I must say, that photo was, in fact, a good-looking honky. So.
Correct.
And for those of you who don't understand, she said Danny corn, D-A-N-N-Y.
Yeah.
That's corn developed, I guess, by Danny.
He's crossed different corn and stuff.
Danny over at Deep South Homestead.
Yeah.
So.
And they sell it. So if you want some, hop over there. They have an Etsy shop.
It grows good in the climate down here. Okay, well, I think we've about covered it, and it's starting to lose a little daylight out here. So if you hadn't subscribed to us, hit that subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up whether you like it or not, and leave us some comments in the comment section if you have any more questions. So, special thanks to Patrick from All Day I Eat Like a Shark, and from Mark over at Red Duchess and Mountain Mama and others I'm forgetting who chimed in. Terry and Laura who and gotta go to the farm or get to the farm maybe. Several channels who jumped in, chimed in with. Laura loves to listen to our accents. Well,
you think we have one?
We'll turn them up real high for you next time, Laura, and really let you hear what we sound like normal.
Laura, I didn't think I had an accent at all. I don't hear it. I just don't hear it.
Hey, Two Family, you have a great habit of coming in right when we're getting off, so it makes it look like we quit because you get here. But that's not the truth.
We'll show them what we did anyway.
Yeah. So
we can make them jealous too because they can't plant plants yet either.
So, Two Family, let me recap just for you, all right, just for you. Patty went to the feed store today to get some more peat moss and stuff, and they were about ready to throw away a bunch of their bedding plants that were starting to go bad. And Patty scored all of these plants for $0.
Yep. Except
for the rosemary.
Oh, and ask them that knows about it. Can't I just pinch off some of this? Can't I pinch it off and put it in the dirt and sprout new?
Who knows about rosemary? Patrick, Mark, anybody? Anyone?
Because this is just one plant here.
Bueller.
Don't start your movies again.
Yes, so. Patrick said you can do that.
Okay.
And Terry Trotto said that she does that with her rosemary.
Okay, so I'm going to do that. Says yes. I'm going to get some of that going tonight, I think. I must just
Patrick said you should use some rooting hormone.
I don't have any rooting hormone.
Well, we're going to experiment, Patrick, and try it without it. And we'll see what happens.
Should I put it in water or put it in the dirt?
Patrick, what do you say? Should she put it in water or... Oh, Wheatree said use willow water. We don't have any willows here. Gosh, I haven't thought about that. Since we moved here from Louisiana, I haven't seen a willow. They're everywhere where we lived in Louisiana. I wouldn't say
everywhere, but yeah.
Well, there were a lot of places.
Anyway, because I want more of these. I like these. In fact, I think
Patrick says it'll work, but rooting hormone will
works
help.
better.
So Patrick, I don't know if you heard her next question. Should she root them in water or in soil? Somebody, give me your thoughts.
Jen at the nut house, I think it was Jen, had a picture of hers, and Tommy, look, it was a bush. It's a bush like that, and so I want to have some of these as my shrubbery.
Mark said they do it a shrubbery. Did you say? Anyway, Mark said they do it in the greenhouse with bottom heat.
Oh, okay.
And Patrick said he's done both, and somebody has said cinnamon will now Mark says soil. Get to the farm says soil.
Okay.
Several people now saying use cinnamon as a rooting hormone. Patrick's got some growing hydroponically.
Really?
All right, so somebody tell me.
That's one thing I want. Is hydroponic with fish too?
Wheatree says soil and keep it damp.
Okay.
No, aquaponics is with fish.
Okay, this is
hydroponics is just growing it in water. All right, so there's tons of people saying using cinnamon as a rooting hormone. I'd like to know, what we need to know is how much. So somebody give us a formula.
You just dip it in it, baby. You just roll it in it.
Oh, okay.
And,
Patty acts like she knows what to do.
Well, I mean, I didn't know you use cinnamon, but I would imagine it's the same as a rooting hormone. And I've seen people just dip it in there and stick it in.
Oh, okay. So you would use it the same way as you would, yep, just dip it.
All right.
Yeah, cinnamon doesn't work on ants in the South. They'll make a cinnamon roll out of it.
You don't know. Oh, you need to show them what Evie's been doing with the ants.
Yeah, but I don't know, because that don't kill ants. It just makes them go build a bed somewhere else.
Well, at least it moved them off of my place.
Yeah. Here's if you want to evict ants. Now, this is not going to kill them.
Well, you don't know. They might have killed.
No, it's not killing them. But we want these flower beds out of the backyard because we're going to turn this into we're going to turn the backyard into a giant garden area, and so we're putting spent coffee grounds on the ant piles, and it causes them to move. They leave. It's not killing them. I'm just almost completely positive of that. And then we've planted a dog right here in the middle of the backyard, and he's doing well. I hadn't watered him today. Hey, Pete. I don't know why I talk to him. He can't hear me. That's the old man of Alderman Farms right there. That is Pete. And he is every bit of 18 years old. He is completely stone deaf. And he's just the sweetest, gentlest old fella you've ever seen in your life.
Tommy, why don't you taste this and make sure the cinnamon tastes good?
I'm not
Stick
tasting
it on your
that.
tongue.
No.
Why?
Because.
It's good.
I'm not
Cinnamon's
doing
good.
it.
It smells good.
Yeah, I'm not smelling it either because you'll throw it in my face right when I get ready to
Yeah, I
do
know
it.
what happens if you put cinnamon in your mouth.
All right, I got 10% left on my battery. Stop it. All
I'm
right.
going to root some rosemary.
Tell everybody
I'm
bye.
going to dip it in cinnamon. Bye, y'all. Thanks for joining us.
See you next time.
Happy planting.
Hit the subscribe button. Bye.